pDAI is Richard Hart's secret coin. I know, you're just as shocked as I am. Welcome back to you, baby dolls. Strap your seat in. It's going to be a wild one. Now, you got to remember, friends, I wouldn't say this unless the evidence is like so stacked in its favor, okay? And we already know the origin address moving coins. He owns half of pDAI, by the way. He's already got 12 billion pDAI. There's a lot of stuff operating in the background. We've seen Decentralized Me come out, showing all the maker vaults, all the community coming out, and just and showing you all the clips. Remember, I showed you all those clips of Richard Hart talking about, you know, I want to launch a stable coin. And we showed you, hey, he wants to, like, you know, he was thinking about using the MakerDAO collateral vaults to put HEX in so he could mint the DAI. So he already has all these. But now it's going to be like the nail in the coffin. Now it's going to be something where you're like, okay, this has to be it. And it's so special, I'm actually making a video out here for you. Now, once again, friends, you got to remember, in the Pokemon community, they called me the pDAI guy, okay? But in the pDAI community, I was the fudder. Just is funny how markets work, man. Now, in a nutshell, pDAI's Richard Hart's one of his secret coins, probably pWBTC, okay, because it's pretty much, they're cut from the same cloth. But pDAI, friends, it's First-Cycle HEX. And I'm going to show you that, okay? So Richard Hart did the exact same launch with pDAI as he did with HEX, okay? And look, I knew this when HEX was first basically doing its big run up, and then it's continued into 2021. So I'm just going to show you it now. Okay, friends. Richard Hart has a style. He has a signature. Okay, so what Richard does is, okay, now why I am telling you and everyone is because he knows everyone else knows. That's why he did pDAI the way he did. Okay? Because in HEX, he had no cult. But he told everybody it's designed to do 10,000x. He said, I like this coin. It's great. It's designed to pump. And look what HEX did at the start. HEX had the adoption amplifier. The price was here. It dropped a whopping minus 98% down. Let me show you. That was pretty much it. Okay. So before this move, that's all you could see. That was HEX, friends. You see that was HEX. So remove the green candle. That was it. It comes in and launches, it drops down, okay? And as you know, we're down here, and I'm consulting Reddit. Hey, can a coin drop less than 1 Satoshi? That's where you have famous things like Johnny KL starts buying at 1 Satoshi, sending it 2 Satoshi to trade it. So you have a couple of those things happen. You also have Mr. Fire Whale comes in during that bottom as well, buys. And it's fascinating, okay? That's where history's made. But I want you to focus on this one thing. The one thing is, friends, HEX dropped 98%. Okay, so I knew this. I knew this in 2021. I knew that, okay, if I was to give a formula, don't buy Richard Hart stuff on day one, ever, for any reason. Here was the thing, though. The PulseChain and PulseX sacrifice, remember, we got caught in it because it was meant to, like, launch soon. So it's tough. Do you take him on his word or don't you? Because you know, friends, it's a tough game. If the crowd believes Richard Hart is going to launch the chain soon, nobody would sacrifice, and then it would have launched low and it would pump from the start. But because everybody did believe that PulseChain was going to launch soon, instead what we got is we got everybody to throw in and they bought at euphoria. And so you have this, like, obviously this wasn't when they're putting the sacrifice, but you get to see it just opens up pretty much 3x day one sack, and then you come like, and it drops down 88%. Okay, so this is friends, this is not a Richard Hart issue, it's a market cycle issue. Okay, remember, HEX the better Bitcoin. Almost forgot to tell you this hour. See, so when everybody's in, it prices itself in. All the currency units, they throw themselves in and then price to perfection, and then you never get perfection, right? But like, I remember, if no one joins and no one believes, the thing opens low. Okay, but here's the thing: Richard's too smart now and he's too popular, and people know. Okay, so it's you're not gonna find a scenario where everybody gives up on the guy. You see, and because he's a smart cookie, not smart cookie, the smartest cookie, pretty much. He knows that. Okay, and he can tell by the fever that people get when they like follow a coin that he talks about, or when he's in. Okay, but now I'm gonna show you some more investigations out here. So you notice his signature. Now, how I came to this conclusion is there was a post made by my friend here, pDAI to $1. Okay, pDAI to $1. So what he was doing is he made a post about CryptoCoffee. Okay, one of the main community leaders in PulseChain. Now, CryptoCoffee is awesome. We love Mr. CryptoCoffee, 39,000 subs. He deserves a lot more. He's been a staunch believer out here. So Mr. CryptoCoffee, friends, he makes a lot of tutorials. I always send my friends and family like, hey, watch coffee videos, okay? Because he makes all the basic stuff for everyone. It's awesome. Now, Mr. Coffee made a tweet at the start, which we'll go through later, but he basically says, be careful of these unpegged stablecoins and stuff, okay? So he makes this tweet, and I actually came out, friends, I came out and defended him because Mr. pDAI to $1, he is basically, see what happens, friends, this is what happens. This is what Hex community did, okay? So the prices go down, and people remember, so they have like this vengeance. So when the prices go back up, they keep receipts. And they go, you said we're going to go down. And they yell at everyone on the way up. Okay, it's what Hexicans did. Remember, friends? Hexicans ended up dancing on the coffins at the top of 2021. You remember that? It was like all the people who said we couldn't make it, Hexicans like cheering on the way up. Like, oh, all the people who said we're getting scammed. All those people down here who said we're getting scammed. Now we finally get to celebrate. Okay, so it's repeating again. But what basically sparked me was I went and I charted. So Mr. pDAI to $1, he replies to me. I'm like, hey, when Mr. Coffee made the post, people were swapping into illiquid things at the start. Okay, so I'll show you, friends. And see, lucky, my friend Sommi, your friend, also has scheduled posts. I had a scheduled post that, friends, I'm telling you now, the universe is a simulation. I had a scheduled post that came out like a week ago, which is on this topic. And now we're speaking about it. Okay, so this post, look at this, friends. 17th of May, look at this, 17th of May, 2023. So around the PulseChain launch. Do you see this big spike up on this chart? So basically what happened was Richard Hart launched PulseChain, and this guy, he swapped out of Hex and he bought pUSDC. He thought that was real USDC. He thought it was the real stablecoin, and he had like, 2.5 million of it. And he thought he was a millionaire. But what this guy did, this loser, right, he's a winner now because the price went down around that point. But just this soy boy, very, very naughty, poopy head soy boy, he went onto all the Telegram chats and he started bragging that we're all retards, we're getting scammed, and he made a lot of money. But what he didn't know is he swapped into an illiquid pool. He got 2.5 million pUSDC, but it was worth nothing because look at the price he paid. He ended up paying something ridiculous like a $39 Hex price or something ridiculous. Okay, so he pretty much lost all his money. He took like a $9,900 loss instantly. Okay, so this type of stuff was happening at the time. And so Mr. CryptoCoffee, friends, I remember, it's just tying stuff in. So you're going to show the uncertainty and the mess. We don't know what websites to look at. Deck screen is not around and stuff, friends, to list all these things. Okay, it's very new. So it was more preemptive. He's trying to say, hey, man, just be careful about these and these unpegged stable coins and whatever, all right? Now, let's continue. Then Mr. pDAI to $1, he replies to me and he says, he shows me a B-Roots tweet. Okay, now Mr. B-Roots. Now, with the Mr. B-Roots tweet, because I'm seeing, it's at the beginning of PulseChain launch, it's probably at like the bottom or something. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, what an amazing tweet out here. So I ended up going and checking the date of when Mr. B-Roots made the tweet because I'm assuming, so what Mr. pDAI to $1 said, it's kind of weird, because he said, throw flowers at him, celebrate for this. And I was like, all right, bro, just chill out. Let me go check the chart, okay? I know it's a great call. Congratulations, sir, but let's go look at it. And what I ended up doing was I looked at the tweet. pDAI dropped 99% from the tweet. Right here. This is May 22nd, 2023. So, because, friends, you're hearing everybody yell about pDAI, and you think everybody was like perfectly aware it was going to drop 99%, and then everybody got like really bullish at the bottom and said, hey, now it's time to get in. No. Friends, they were bullish and it dropped 99%, okay? That's exactly what happened to Hex. It's exactly the same things I'm telling you now, friends. It's kind of funny how it happens. You see here, everyone's bullish on Hex, and they're bullish and they're saying, hey, Hex is going to do well, everything's amazing, and then it drops 98% from the start. Bang. And okay, let's continue. So what I did was I went back to my deck screener. I have now updated my pDAI chart to show the full chart, okay? I was using the one that starts down here, the liquidity pool. Now you see the real chart. You want to see where May 22nd is, friends? This should show you what it was like on the PulseChain launch. Look at this, friends. Look at this. pDAI, friends, when it came down here is like, see what I mean? Like, it was going down. Everyone thought, hey, this might be a meme coin or something, right? So yeah, but look what ends up happening, man. Look at this. Bang, all the way down. Bang, 99%. Okay, so it drops 99%, man. And you just got to imagine, right? This is exactly, depends. This is literally, if you write, like, just if I wrote HEX adoption amplifier, AA starting price, and then this is the HEX bottom where it does like a 10,000x. Okay, so it's so similar. And then you have the big run up. You have the big disbelief run up. Now, this is the funny part, friends. On this disbelief run up, what I've got to mention to you is the believers at the bottom carry the spirit forward. Okay, and there's still people who sit on the sidelines. So look at this, friends. So look at this. So pDAI $1 shows me this tweet. Look at this. Here we have Mr. B Roots saying the best meme coins in all of PulseChain is pWBTC and pDAI, pretty much. Okay, so the WBTC and DAI. You're welcome. Bought both super cheap. I am Moon King, 22nd of May, 2023. Bang, minus 99%. Okay, so you got to remember, friends, from the perspective of everybody else, Richard Hart launches a chain. He says, don't touch meme coins. Don't touch anything else. Everyone has it in their mind. Of course, don't touch anything else. Right. And we just came through a bear market. Friends, you know, literally 9 months before the launch, Luna UST was dead. Or like 1 year before that launch, Luna UST collapsed as a unpegged stablecoin. And I'll show you the chart right here. Okay. This is the Luna chart. It was $1. Okay, it was $1. What ended up happening, friends? Look what happens. People buy it on the way down. And, you know, this green candle was Do Kwon, friends. Do Kwon spent 40,000 Bitcoin to buy it up there. Okay, see this green candle? He tried to restore the peg. It goes back to 80 cents. And then it come back down. And then bang, it comes all the way back down. Okay, so as you can see, the whole industry just watched everyone lose all their money buying Luna and UST on the way down. And it showing a devastating depeg. Okay, so that's what's lurking everywhere. So to summarize where we are today, look what ends up happening though. From Mr. B Roots' call, it drops. So obviously, friends, he's probably bullish along the way on the bottom. Of course he is. Of course he is bullish on the bottom. But from the first call that we see here, it drops 99%, comes back plus 50x. Wild. Okay, wild. Let's continue. So that's wild. So that's why I say congratulations for that call. That's exactly, like I said, that's early HEX, man. That's what the Hexicans did. You see, friend, that's how I heard about it. Okay, I heard about it even more, friends, because HEX did a big launch. Look at that. Okay, I'll just show you. Okay, HEX does this collapse down, and then it does the big run up, friends. And up here is when I knew some just random guys on the internet. Shout out to Mr. 6K. He was in it. He was in HEX. And then, friends, he was so excited that Richard replied to him in one of the messages. I think that's when HEX had like a Discord. I think HEX had a Discord. I think that's how early it was. I wasn't around in there, but I heard about it. And I go, look, I'm in Bitcoin. I'm in Ethereum back then. But I got to get this when it's cheap. And I wait. And as you know, friends, I use the HEX ETH ratio chart to do it, which is spooky because now I'm using the pDAI to pulse ratio chart to get in. So this is the HEX ETH chart, friends. So when it went up, look at this. Okay, see, HEX goes up. I got it back like here. Okay, it took a while. I waited, and I just got in here. Down 80% from the top. That's how I knew HEX was still cheap. Okay, it went down here. Okay, so it's just, that's what, deja vu. It's happening all over again. Okay, the exact same story is happening again. So it goes down 99%. The people who say to get in at the start get embarrassed because it goes down 99%. No one believes them. Then you have the disbelief run. And then I'm like waiting for it to stop. Friends, it's happening the exact same thing again, man. I got in on the ratio of HEX ETH. And then I got in on the pDAI ratio as well. The pDAI pulse, which was right here. Okay, which is literally right here, man. It's my video. My videos and my posts are here. Like, I can't believe it. So make no mistake, friends, I'm going to play some pump music. Non-believers, just watch out, man. I'm just saying, just watch out. Because, like I said, man, when pDAI hits on 1 cent, okay, it's 1 cent now. You know what I mean? Look, this is, friends, make no mistake, this is a Richard Heart style launch. It's not an ordinary shakeout, okay? Richard Heart, he does what I call an apocalyptic shakeout, okay? He does literally, friends, look, I imagine Richard Heart, he reads the Bible, and he probably like likes the parts where God tests people on earth, like Adam and all the people from the Bible. He's like, hey, kill your son for me and do this. And then, you know, and the pain of humans as they're like looking up to God, and there's some like different, you know, Bible versions where they call them the gods, and they still, it's very interesting, this type of archetype out here. And also, like is it no coincidence that at the beginning of the Highest of Stakes movie, remember, like I think Nerd Girl, she says, you know, Richard Heart is a god. Was it her? She said, like, you know, so it's think about it, right? Memes, cults, religions. Think about it. So Richard Heart does that big drop. It's his signature, man. I know it's his signature because it makes sense. It's like, it's because, friends, you got to think about it. This is why everyone thinks he's a scammer. Okay, it's because he does amazing marketing, but he does not tell you he's going to shake his out. He doesn't tell you that. Okay, he does amazing marketing. He gets all the demand to front run into somewhere, because what he did for Hex, friends, he got Ethereum. He raised Ethereum from the adoption amplifier, right? So he got all their money, just like the PulseChain sacrifice, okay? He got him in, and then lets the bottom fall out, okay? And the bottom falls out, and in the midst of the bottom, okay, the non-believers sell, but the non-believers already gave you the funds you need. So the non-believers put ETH into the adoption amplifier, and the non-believers put PulseChain and PulseX into the sacrifice fund, right? So that's why when you look at Pulse, for example, you already contributed to the SAC fund. So the people selling down here on these, yeah, you've already contributed to the boosting of everyone else later. And also, what happens in those bottoming processes? The believers join. People who really believe. It's like, I'm telling you, man, like, friends, Richard Heart is the only guy in crypto who actually studied Bitcoin. He's the only guy, okay? Vitalik and everyone else, they didn't study it, okay? They look at it, oh, that's cool tech. Let's go do something better. Yeah, Richard Heart actually looked at it, because remember, I think he really loves this archetype of I'm the god and I'm going to punish you and you're still going to love me because I'm going to look after you at the end. But it's I'm sure, friends, like, he's a really logical guy, friends. It's logical beyond what you can comprehend. Because, like, you and I, what's the most famous book on earth? The Bible. Okay, but when Richard Heart knows, oh, it's the Bible, let me go see the stories in there. What are the most famous stories in there? And, like, he looks at it differently from everyone's perspective. But they're very logical. It's not like he's weird. It's just like, it's a part of humans we don't even want to admit. Okay? Like, we have a worship gene. Okay? Or, like, you know, it's in our DNA and stuff as well. Okay? So when someone's really smart and they're just like seeing us like little chess pieces that they can move around, they see things from a different perspective. And also, that's one of the reasons why I thought it was a massive scammer at the start, because it was too sharp for a human. Because he knows which words to bring out. He knows how to summarize things. I'm like, man, this guy's literally freaking superhuman. He just doesn't stutter. He doesn't stutter. Okay, it literally is, it's otherworldly, okay, when you look at it. Now, it's funny. I can just imagine him getting himself off just as I say stuff like that. Now, pDAI, friends, remember, pDAI goes down, it drops that much. And to show you what ends up happening is, look, remember, from B-Roots and the tweets out here, look what ends up happening as well, friends. Also, okay, I got to show you. Remember the CryptoCoffee, how he was like helping everyone. Look at his tweet. His tweet was even earlier than B-Roots. And look, they're still quoting him today. So CryptoCoffee, I don't know who needs to hear this, but stablecoin companies on PulseChain won't maintain their dollar peg. Anyone that sells PulseX for those or pUSDT is wrecked. So he's basically saying don't sell your Richard Heart core coins. However, from the date he mentioned it, it dropped minus 99.94%. Okay, so it's kind of funny. Look at this. pDAI, friends, is up 3x now. But I just want to show you, pDAI are the first cycle hexagons. Because pDAI, guys, friends, you dropped minus 99.94%. It comes back 3x. The pDAI guys are now going after CryptoCoffee saying you prevented everybody from making money. Which I shed a tear. It's gold. It's gold. That's what you want, man. That's a real cult. That's a real cult. You see? Oh, man. It's equivalent of to join the cult, you got to blindfold yourself, run across the highway. And then you dodge like 11 cars and one of them has to backflip and explode on the side, but you make it to the end. You know what I mean? Like, see, you made it. You made it. See? Oh, it's funny. And let's say at the other side of the road, there's just a glass of cold orange juice and a banana. And then like you're telling the other people in the cult members, see, you could have that banana and cold orange juice if you just did the same thing too. Yes, what a trial by fire, okay? And like I said, friends, it's an apocalyptic shakeout. And by the way, that was the only way to get Bitcoin repeating. Friends, Bitcoin, there was no shakeout because nobody believed, okay? It started with zero. But Richard Hart knows, okay, I've got a group of people. How do I shake them out? Because like they don't believe at the start, but how do I even give them the spirit that it's possible? So what ends up happening, friends, is as we move up from that bottom, which I'll show you now. As we move up, I'm going to show you on the daily chart. Okay, so this is the pDAI pulse ratio. I'm going to look at this, okay? See how this thing's down? Down 99%. Okay. What ends up happening, friends, is, by the way, this is, oh my gosh, friends, I just noticed this. I just noticed this right now. Oh my God, friends, it's Richard Hart. I'm live on camera. I know this pattern. I know this pattern. You want me to show it to you? Here you go. It's HEX. I'm literally, I'm going to do the sign across. Live on camera, I know that pattern straight away. I'm here 18 hours a day. That's early HEX daily chart. Look at it. Look at it. Comes all the way down. Here, look at this. There's a little bump up. A little bump up. A little bump up. Bang! It's Richard. By the way, I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to make a tweet right now. And as promised, friends, I've actually got goosebumps now. Like, I saw it straight away. I'm here all day. By the way, how much of a freak am I? I look at a chart. Oh, that's the early HEX chart from the beginning of 2019 to 2020. Oh, man. That's wild. It's undeniable at that point. It's undeniable. Look at that. Drop 99%. And then it does the walk up. Charts don't normally do that, by the way, friends. They don't do that. Okay, so you want to tell me, how do they do that? Let me show you what they normally do. Let's actually go back to the pDAI chart. They don't do this, okay? When you drop down that much, friends, okay, when you drop that much, you do like some sort of like double bottom. Maybe you come back down, poke the low, and then you go back up, and then you do that, okay? Not this, like, what is this? Okay, what that is, that's basically... What that's basically saying is it should have stopped here when it came back down. But it's like, hey, let's let the bottom fall out further. All right. And then you shouldn't be here. Let's walk it up. Just saying, not a coincidence, man. Not a coincidence. Now, as it goes up, all right, remember, friends, around here you have, here you go, corrupt SEC. Okay. So corrupt SEC come. Man, it's wild, friends. You want to know why? Because do you know... If you go, look at the HEX chart, look when zombie virus happened. Here's March. Man, that's freaking wild. Richard, you're probably watching. Do you know how wild that is, Richard? Richard Hart, sir? During when Richard started moving up HEX, we had the zombie virus Black Swan. Isn't that crazy? And look what it did. It did nothing. And it kept walking up. Well, now let me show you pDAI. During pDAI, we also had a Black Swan. We had the corrupt SEC go after Richard. And he wasn't fazed by it. It kept pumping anyway. Spooky. So yeah, it's kind of amazing, friends, to go on this journey here with you just to see his signature out here. You probably, let's stop right here as well. As we move up, am I even like worried? No, because I know what he's going to do next. He's going to shake everyone out. He might reject the proposal. He might like sell pDAI, just to let you guys know. Friends, he sold pDAI 555 of that. So it's expected. That's the game, man. That's the game. It's kind of like him just ghosting PulseChain community. Only the believers are going to make it. That's what it means. And now let's go through another part, friends. So as it's happening, this disbelief run, okay, even Sommi's in disbelief because I'm like unpegged stablecoin, and you got to remember, friends, Everyone's saying, you gotta look at the chain. You gotta look at the chain. I'm seeing all this stuff. Now, what I actually heard is only B Roots actually believed, pretty much. That's what I've heard. Pretty much B Roots believes. But you gotta remember, friends, as well, it is true, though, that from them talking about it, it drops 99%. Okay, so let's be honest. Like, it's hard to take someone seriously when they go, this thing's gonna be great. Bang, down 99%. You know what I mean? Okay, so this event, friends, so we rise up and this event happens. This is the Sommi FUD event. So it's kind of funny. I'm in a chart. It's funny to see. Okay, now with the Sommi FUD event, I get a message. There's like 3 to 4 devs, different people around the community, and they're telling me how this thing works. They're telling me that the supply of pDAI is going up. People are minting pDAI. And the supply is going up. You got to remember, friends, it's going nuts. They're like, you got to do something, you got to do something. And I'm like, look, man, look, what is it? Like, it's unpegged. There's a lot of movement going up. All I'm seeing is like this chart just go up, okay? And you got to remember, friends, okay? It looked like a scam. By the way, I still call it a scam. It's a joke, okay? It doesn't matter these words, okay? It looked like a scam because you have all these people who people got into it. Now they're down 99%. Now it's coming back. All right. It looked like, okay, you're just using everyone for exit liquidity. Yeah? And do you want to know where it all came from, friends? Because in 2021, Shiba Inu, because it had like trillions of supply, the Shiba Inu narrative was that it would go to $1. That's how everybody got trapped, all the retailers, you know? Shiba Inu, can it hit $1? Can it hit $1? Okay, so I've just used recent things, but the $1 narrative was out there and everyone knew like, oh, it's a trap. There's so much supply of the coins, $1, right? It's a trap. So that's where it came from. It came from the Doge and Shiba Inu crowd. Yes, that's in terms of like everyone knew, oh crap, don't believe that $1 narrative. Like that's what, so the pDAI has a $1 narrative, right? They're like, oh, it's a stable coin. It's meant to be $1, right? So that's why people just believed it was a scheme for profit taking at the start. That's why Disbelief Run, friends. Remember, this happened with Bitcoin. That's what's happening with HEX. Friends, we even see it when HEX and PulseChain goes up. Crypto bands and everybody else, Randy Boo, shout out to everybody there. They go up. They're like, oh, it's probably Richard pumping it so we could exit out. See, it's the same thing, friends. It's the same thing, man. That's why I'm telling you, it's early HEX when it was going up. Everyone said, it's Richard pumping it to dump it so we could get out. Altcoin Daily, Elio Trade, like everyone had that first presumption. And by the way, if you just like, just a sneak peek, look at the PulseX to Pulse ratio. Okay, like, oh, golly gee, walk. You're starting to see some patterns. So when we go back here, friends, okay, when we go back to the pDAI Pulse ratio, all right, so this is, yeah, pDAI Pulse, okay. So the Sommi FUD event happens, drops 80%, and I left the post up there. It's kind of like the Michael Saylor. It's like my own Michael Saylor 2013 tweet where I'm like, you know, the supply's going up, pDAI's a scam. And like there's all these scheming friends. You got to remember everyone's yelling like you have to stop and help because this thing's unpegged. We have Luna UST. Richard just got accused of the corrupt SEC and all these other stuff. It looks really bad. And I was like, you know what? I thought I was doing the right thing. Obviously, I was wrong, but I thought I was doing the right thing. Actually, friends, I had no information at the time. You got to understand when people are saying, look at this information. Friends, look what happened with the SOTA stuff. My God, it's like 14,000 articles and labyrinth stuff, and then half the people are wrong. Anyway, you see what I mean? So you don't know, man. But something in me told me, hey, remember HEX? And I knew, so it had a speculative mania. So pDAI comes back to that point, and it goes up, and it pumps 15x. And at that time, everyone was roaring, yeah, and then it dropped. It dropped, bang. There you go, 94%. Now, at the bottom here, and I made my tweets and my videos. You see this? Here's December. And I was like, hey, it's time to get in. This thing's down. And remember, I shared my couple of famous stories. I thought I was going to get attacked. I felt like I had so much paranoia. I thought the whole community was going to say, Sommi capitulated, ha. But I didn't really care. But I was just like a human thing. And no one did. No one said anything. Why? Because the prices were down. They go, oh, we did get scammed. You know what I mean? That's what it looked like, friends. That's what the chart looked like. And the like linear chart, oh, okay, it was a scam. That's what everyone's looking at. And I'm like, I could see the pDAI tagging. And I didn't even, I just look, I said, look, man, just something's just giving me a feeling. That's it. I see cheap prices. I see a community. You can tag $pDAI on PulseChain. Let's go. And I also told people, if you were unfortunately fudded by me trying to help everybody down here, guess what? Guess what? The ratio came back. And I even said you can add more aggressive size if you want it now. You don't have to do like your 1 bullet, okay? You can put in like 5 bullets. You can go more aggressive. Okay, I said it for everyone. So no excuses. No excuses. Look where we are today, though. We're starting to grind up. You see, friends, like after this point, you gotta understand, man, that it's a nice pattern, man. It is a nice pattern that's gliding. And then there's been some like surprises along the way. So Richard Hart has done 4 tweets about pDAI. Here he goes, okay? He writes, a coin that did 5,000x already. Check. At least one free ERC20 coin up 5,000x. 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 Man, that is classic Richard Hart. It hits the big milestone and he just bragged, but marketing for it, okay? So it's just there's too many similarities. Drop 99%. Walk up the price, there's a disbelief run, we go up, there's a mania, it comes back down, and then it hits a milestone. And yeah, pDAI, friends, at that point, it did hit a 5,000x. I know I'll change it to the USD price point. And also, friends, like this is not a coincidence as well. If you go to the HEX price chart, look what the bottom is, friends. The bottom is, and get ready for it, the bottom is 0.0000550. Okay, you see that? See the bottom price? 5550, and then it does a 10,000x from there to the top. Okay, so you just got to remember that price, 10,000x to that top from up here, from down here, 10,000x. Now remember that price, 0.000055. Okay, the bottom of pDAI is. It's this number here. You see that? 5 zeros and 1 8. That is exactly 555.555x to $1. Okay, look at that. You put 5 zeros, 1 8. How long to get to $1? You need to multiply it by 5,555.555x 0.55555. You still think it's a coincidence, friends? You still think it's a coincidence? And he bragged about when it came from here, it hit 5,000x. There you go. That was when it hit almost 1 cent. Okay, I'll show it to you now. Yes, you see that? 5,000x from here. He bragged about it. So, you see that story, friends? I guess remember, I'm one of the only ones. I was like, pDAI, Luna UST, all this unpegging, $1 exit liquidity. And I just saw the mania, and I was like, wait a minute. Something's going on here. It just, like I said, man, it reminded me exactly is HEX. It's HEX all over again. Oh, there you go. So, but no one's looking. They don't know because they want Richard to tell them that the opportunity is there. And look, you can't fault the man, friends, because if he told you something, you could never get a cheap price. Because by definition, everyone will just flock in because they go, oh, I'm getting in, right? Okay, and then we have exactly what we have with the PulseChain Launch and PulseX. And also, friends, you got to remember, man, Mr. CryptoCoffee, man, it drops 99.94% of it. It comes all the way back. It's up like a 2x. You cost everybody money. It's so hilarious to me, okay? So now, where does that leave us? Well, we got some targets to go. We got some targets. Like I said, friends, it's just the Pokemon community call me the pDAI guy. Like, how did we go from... I'm not a pDAI guy? It's just funny to think about. There's too many things lining up. Now, look at the targets here. 1 cent. I'm just telling you now, friends. Look. A lot of people, I know, man, just listen to me. You get inflamed when you think about the $1 pegging. I'm going to peg you. Don't think about that, man. I'm going to show you the game. That's what I'm here to do, friends, in a very family-friendly way. Here's a giant lollipop. Okay? Learn the game. It's yummy. So, you're betting on a chain. You're betting on a community. You're betting on Richard Hart now. You get it? You get it? Betting on Richard Hart. Do you think any project that Richard Hart ever attempts, do you think it deserves a 1% chance of success only? I don't think so. And I know even Richard Hart critics won't say that. Would you bet, like if Richard Hart was a trader, would you, if he said to get long or short or whatever, would you bet against him 99 times out of 100 and risk your life savings? Would you bet on him? You're like, no way. Fade him 99 times out of 100. You know you're going to get wrecked. what would you say is fair? Think about it, because now you're trying to figure out what you think pDAI should be priced today. You know this information. Maybe it should be 20 cents. I don't know. Now, the $1 pegging things, friends, things will be unlocked in the story as we go up, okay? I don't know. I don't know how it's going to peg. I don't know, okay? And this is what actually amazes most people. Friends, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm just telling you, I don't know how it's going to get pegged. I don't know. They're going to put like the leather strap in the mouth, pin them on the bed. I don't know. All I'm saying is you see a community. You see cheap prices. You know the origin address owns a lot of the coins. You know Richard wants to do a stable coin. You know he made pDAI the first logo on PulseX. You know he's walked up the price like this exactly the same. You know it's a classic Richard Hart project and all these. You know all these, okay? You know it's exactly 5555555x to $1. You know all these things, okay? So what fair price do you think it should be? That's what I'm trying to help you figure out. And so what would like make you believe even more that it's going all dollar? I don't know. Maybe Ethereum is $10,000. He makes eDAI, pDAI farms. I don't know. So you could dream and speculate about them, but by that point, the price ain't going to be a cent, man. The price is probably going to be 15 cents. See, that's what I told you. When I made my videos and stuff, okay, it's kind of funny. I can't believe this is actually happening like it. Friends, when I made my video, friends, look at the Luna UST high. It was 7 cents. So when I made my post on my videos, I said, look, man, if it's a list lottery ticket goes to Luna UST's high, you got 190x. You don't even need $1. You get 190 times your money. You don't even need the $1. Okay, now that we're here, we're only like to that point, we're only like 8x. So what are we going to do? I don't know what we're going to do. Like the auto still there? That's why, friends, I've been showing you the pDAI to pulse ratio. It's not a coincidence, okay? If you look at it, this ratio, my friends, is not a coincidence, okay? You don't accidentally walk your way all the way back to the launch price and now start to look at like it's going to go up, okay? Just to let you know, if Pulse pumps, remember having 120x away to $1? Okay, sweet. If Pulse pumps 50x, okay, this thing is going all dollar, whether you like it or not. Because it's, look at this ratio, friends. This ratio, it's grinding up over time. So this ratio only needs to be from 120 to 240. Look at this small distance. Do you think this chart that's traveled all of this, you think it can't travel this tiny little part? There you go. If you believe Pulse is going to do 50x, you're saying pDAI is going to $1. That's what I'm letting you know. Based off all this information that we know of these charts. You don't need to know about farms. You don't need to know about peggings. You don't need to know about anything, friends. Okay? Maybe you're a glory hole type of guy. I don't know. Just telling you all the information we have today. You're like, hey, you're headed towards that zone. And last but not least, most importantly, like I said, don't be surprised if the guy, Richard Hart, who does apocalyptic wipeouts, don't be surprised if he does another apocalyptic wipeout. Okay? Maybe he rejects the MakerDAO proposals made by the community. Maybe he just goes cancel it. Maybe he like removes the pDAI logo from the website. I'm trying to F with you, friends. I'm trying to truck with you. You see? Maybe he sells some pDAI. Yes? I'm trying to throw things at you. Now, when would he do something like that? He's probably like, friends, what I'm doing is, I probably shouldn't have said those. Now he's going to do something else out there. That'd be funny. But actually, I don't think anybody would believe me. They'd actually be like, they'd think that he was actually doing it, okay? And then when it comes out, everyone's going to be talking about what happens now. Here's the thing. If this thing did another 10x, which goes around here, and then it comes back down, there might be a FUD thing that makes it drop down another 80%. Friends, look at this. You know this thing dropped 99%? Look at the next drop. It dropped 90%. Look at the next drop. It dropped 85%. Okay, what if the next one is only 80%? Wow. Yeah, friends, what if it does that? What if it goes to like 7 cents and then drops 80% and back down to 1.5 cents? And there'll be another round of FUD there. So all I'm saying is, look, here's the thing. You can't unfud him or anything. You can't, okay? You can't unfud. What if he just says, I don't like pDAI? Imagine he just comes out and says that. You can't unfud him. I'm just letting you know. He can say anything he wants. You can't change this for me. You can't, okay? Just like, friends, like, you can call Hex a Ponzi all you want, but you can't change that chart as well. You see this chart here? You can't change this. over time. All right, you see that? I'm just helping you see there are believers here. And so ultimately, baby dolls, shakeouts, and is it gonna peg, and just all these stories, man. What do you do at the end of it? I don't know. It's moving along the path. If it goes to zero, okay, it went to zero. Lottery ticket. But also, what are you going to do if you wake up one day, he's got a pDAI-eDAI farm? What are you going to do personally? I'm asking you now. Are you going to hate me that I didn't tell you to go all in? Or are you going to hate yourself if you didn't put more in? Just think about that. Well, what if he does that? What if he does put a farm out like that? What if he actually accepts the proposal? Okay? It's 117x away for these. So I don't know what to do at this point. Like, it's moving up. And yeah, I did add, and I bought pWBTC as well, friends. So I added more of it. I already had it, but like, when does Sommi top blast? Just think about that. When do I top blast anything, friends? You even saw this pDAI. I'm like, oh, I'm going to wait. I'm just... It's spooky, okay? So, coincidences, I think it's pretty much set in stone now. Now, what if it makes us wait to get to $1 in 5 years? Okay, we're on to another story then. So, you have to decide for yourself how much you're willing to allocate, or from what stack you're willing to allocate. Please don't get like any FOMO or anything. I'm just warning you, if pDAI hits 1 cent, there will be FOMO. I'm just telling you, okay? Because, just letting you know, friends, every influencer on PulseChain, mainstream community member, they're trying to look after the community. They didn't know, man. No one knows. Okay? No one knows. I guess... I don't know, man. This is a religious experience of biblical proportions. Okay, how do you explain this to anyone, by the way? Do you now know why we follow the memes, cults, religions archetype? Do you see that? I hope you see it now. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.